We see in the video he goes down. He fairly quickly gets back up. He even pumps his fist to the crowd. What does that say about the former president's resiliency and about the message that he was sending to supporters right in that very moment? Tonight on Queen City News, a stormy night in the Charlotte area. Scattered showers and storms are rolling through the region right now. Good evening, I'm Kanady, and let's get straight to meteorologist Andrew Brightman in the Pinpoint Weather Center. Andrew, we have been hearing the rain just coming down over and over our studios in West Charlotte all night long. We just got alerts on our phones, and we are under a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Mecklenburg and Gaston counties.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Robin.
Now to a troubling new finding. Fentanyl is finding its way into the hands of more middle schoolers. And a North Carolina mother is not only telling people about the dangerous and powerful opioid, but she's doing something about it. She's working to get a medicine known to reverse the effects of the deadly drug in every school. Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks explains her mission. Queen City News is your home for the Carolina Panthers. You just watched on Fox Charlotte preseason game 2. It's now in the books. Our Mike Lissette joins us live from Bank of America Stadium. Mike, what caught your eye from the Panthers tonight? That video is just incredible. You know, people were pushing their way in, and then other fans, they spent thousands of dollars on tickets, didn't even get in. So are the people filing this lawsuit claiming that CONMEBOL should have known there would be a security issue and they just didn't do anything?
That is the standard.
The University of South Carolina women's basketball team is the national champions tonight. The undefeated Gamecocks beat Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Charlotte Sports Live's Grace Grill is here with us now. And it was amazing watching Coach Dawn Staley after the game, Grace, because you know, she was just so emotional, like moved to tears. She couldn't even speak.
Yeah, wouldn't you be too if, if you just did that? Absolutely.
And that was the NTSB giving an update on the crash in Washington, D.C. The official with strong words there saying the crash between a helicopter and a plane should not have happened. Over 100 family members, he said, are getting briefing and assistance right now. Barges for salvage operations will be on site tomorrow to continue those operations. The NTSB has not, he says, and will not release a manifest. If he's elected Attorney General, he says he wants to fight fentanyl. He also wants to fight AI scams and protect seniors, but he also wants to settle a little bit of his score here. He is currently the congressman for the 14th Congressional District, and he was pretty upset with a Republican-led legislature in North Carolina for changing his district. We've had downpours all morning long. You can see the rain as it just kind of shifts to the side, going sideways here. Just when we think it's starting to lighten up, we get another big batch, big downpours, heavy. I'm just soaked right now. And if you take a look at Lake James behind me, you can see it has overtaken this parking lot. If you can see the water levels right there at the dock, and you can see some of the pavement markings here in the parking lot. We start with breaking news. 2 forest fires are raging right now in western North Carolina, and evacuations are underway for one of them. People who live between Caleb Lane and Old Eller's Store in Caldwell County near the Wilkes County line need to leave their homes right now. Officials say the Caleb Lane fire, as it's being called, is about 50 acres and it is not contained at all. And the Forest Service has sent in helicopters to fight a forest fire in Burke County. The fire is so big you can see it there, the flames and black smoke in these pictures, that agencies from 3 counties were called out to fight it. The fire, known as the Smoky Creek Fire, is 160 acres and 50% contained. Officials say it appears the fire first involved a building. It spread outside, is now 160 acres and impacted 5 buildings, destroying one of them and leaving 5 people without a home. Old Amherst Road is closed to the public from Burke Smoky Creek Road. There is a burn ban in effect across the state, but no mandatory evacuations in Burke County at this time. And officials say the strong winds are really fueling those forest fires. Let's get over to meteorologist Andrew Brightman. Andrew, will it stay windy in the mountains tonight? A sweeping change could be coming to Palmetto state politics. A small GOP group floated the idea to do away with primaries across the state. Our South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks broke that story earlier this week, and today at a registration drive in York County, she caught up with several voters to find out what they think. Deputies in Union County arrested a 14-year-old who's accused of sending threats to fellow students using social media. Investigators say when they searched the home of the Union County early college student this week, they found multiple guns and ammunition, and some of the weapons were not locked up. The teenager was charged with a felony and is in a juvenile jail. One of the jurors in the Alec Murdaugh double murder trial just released a book about her time in the courtroom. Amy Williams, or juror number 864, was found Murdaugh was guilty of murdering his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul, in June of 2021. Her book, The Long Road to Justice, details her time on the jury. A portion of the book's sales will go to a nonprofit domestic violence shelter, Sanctuary House, which Williams founded. The search is on for some people who could face criminal charges after abandoning a little dog. It was all caught on camera behind a Fayetteville strip mall. Justin Moore spoke with a Good Samaritan who found little Benny and now wants to give him a forever home. The first weekend of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is underway. The American Gaming Association predicts fans will bet just over $3 billion on March Madness this year. That's up $400 million from last year, and people are filling out their brackets in hopes of making it to the finals. But experts say the odds of building a perfect bracket are, get this, 1 in 9.2 quintillion. And the longest a bracket has stayed perfect is 49 games. That record was set in 2019 when a neuropsychologist predicted the entire tournament into the Sweet 16. His bracket was busted when Purdue beat Tennessee. And a whole lot of basketball fans in North Carolina are placing their bets. Experts say it's important to exercise discipline with the amount of money you bet, especially if you're new to it. And if you or a loved one is struggling with gambling addiction, here's the number you can call. It's a betting hotline, and you can call at 1-800-GAMBLER. Tens of thousands of college basketball fans are in Raleigh for tournament action at the Lenovo Center. In addition to Duke, people are here from across the country to see other top-notch teams, including Florida and Baylor. Greg Funderburg spoke to fans.
I love Duke.
She is quite the super fan there. Well, Duke plays Baylor tomorrow afternoon in Raleigh. It is really heartwarming out here. There is so much outreach going on in the Sugar Grove community. This group just came up just about half an hour ago, and they're handing out hot meals to people in need. As you mentioned, we saw power crews out today and a team going into a home to do mold remediation on the home that was destroyed by Hurricane Helene. The floodwaters are gone, but the signs of how Hurricane Helene swamped the community of Sugar Grove are not.
It was mud from one end to the other.
Mud everywhere.
The pieces of destruction are scattered all along Highway 321 outside of Boone.
Grabbed our kids and our dogs and cats, and we got out while the water was still ankle deep in the yard.
Cindy and John Potter didn't have time to look back as the water was rising around their home.
Believe and not know what you're going to come back home to.
An emotional moment only compounded by Helene's wrath and what they found when they returned. Their home destroyed with 4 inches of mud inside.
Well, we lost our home a little over 10 years ago to a fire. And it was a complete loss.
Yeah.
So we do feel fortunate.
Fortunate is a word we heard over and over in the middle of immense loss. With the force of the water sweeping through, hitting trees, knocking down power lines, and twisting them into a mess, this bridge is still standing.
We feel fortunate compared to a lot of folks around us. I think,
Fortunately, still devastated.
yeah.
Cindy and John lost most of their chickens.
Little Dottie.
We got our cats and dogs out this time.
Yeah.
And that's not all.
Ducks are out here somewhere floating around. They're fine.
The community is strong in the face of destruction, just like the mountains where they all live.
It is what it is, and the good Lord will fix everything, I reckon. So.
We have seen signs of hope all day long in the Sugar Grove community. Neighbors set up a food pantry here. We've got water, and if we go inside here, there are canned goods all along here. All kinds of essentials. We see diapers back there, hygiene products, things that all of their neighbors will need. And some of these neighbors still do not even have power, but they came out here to help. It's another sign of this community coming together. I'm live in Watauga County. Robin Kanady, Queen City News. It was a very quick verdict. It only took the jury about 13 minutes to come back and find Christopher Palmer guilty. He's now a convicted felon for not reporting his stepdaughter, missing Cornelius, girl Madalena Kojokari, for not reporting her missing. Now, he's not going to jail, though, even though he's a convicted felon, because a judge sentenced him to between 6 and 17 months in prison, but that sentence was suspended to 30 months probation because Christopher Palmer has already done 8 months in jail for this charge. And I spoke with him just moments ago and asked him questions as he came out of the courtroom. Christopher, how do you feel that the jury found you guilty in less than 15 minutes?
Mr. Palmer maintains his innocence. We've entered notice of appeal. Disappointed with the decision.
His defense attorney is saying that Palmer maintains his innocence and they are going to file an appeal. Meanwhile, the prosecution and police said after the verdict that they're pleased with the decision and this will help them move on with finding Madalena. She has not been seen for a year and a half. Coming up tonight at 5, we will break down the closing arguments for the prosecution and the defense and tell you why it may have been a quick decision for this jury. I'm live tonight at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Robin Kanady, Queen City News. McFadden, who was first elected sheriff in 2018 and then re-elected in 2022, announced a major shakeup at the sheriff's office today. This comes after the controversy surrounding the sheriff that we've been telling you about since November 1st. Now, that's when the sheriff's right-hand man, you see here, Chief Deputy Kevin Kanady, resigned. Kanady claims the sheriff made disparaging, unprofessional, and racist comments about employees. And not only that, but Kanady says the sheriff wanted him to be his hatchet man and fire 2 employees that he did not see a reason to let go. Today, the sheriff's office announced those workers, the HR director and the business manager, were fired, and the sheriff has replaced them and others.
To complete a puzzle of me and Kevin Kanady and Chief White, that's the ultimate team.
That was Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden in February, praising his new chief deputy, Kevin Kanady. But Kanady says his relationship with McFadden started to sour quickly.
And so soon after I came, the second week I began to see signs of his personality and the way he treated people, and that began to bother me.
What are we talking about? What kinds of examples?
So constantly berating staff, members of the executive team, command staff, in front of everyone. What I would later tell him were public floggings, making condescending comments to them, such as, I know that people think you're great, but you're not. Denigrating the chain of command, making insulting comments.
Kanady remembers a couple of times when he says McFadden said racist things in front of him about others. And then came the recordings that Kanady says were given to him in October. In one of them, Kanady says McFadden talks about one of his captains.
That white cracker captain is better than the other 7 captains upstairs.
In another, Kanady says McFadden is referring to retired Chief Deputy Rodney Collins.
I got Chief Collins. I don't know who that is.
You have actually spoken with a direct source who recorded that.
Yes.
Got it. Kanady says the audio was recorded on 3 different dates at employee meetings. One of those dates is possibly February 28th, 2021.
Obviously, for obvious reasons, the person who recorded, who made the recordings, is certainly concerned about their employment. Sure. And so it was edited in such a way that this person can remain anonymous.
On Thursday, McFadden said he's sorry for the comments.
It doesn't matter who recorded or how many years ago it was recorded. Today, I want to apologize for that language. Held to a higher standard. That's the office of the sheriff. But you must understand that I'm human and I'm not perfect and I will make mistakes.
Kanady says he doesn't think McFadden should be in office, but he did vote for him twice, and others did too, to elect him. Kanady says he will not run for sheriff in 2 years, but he does have some people he thinks would be good for the job.